Hello, I'm Bishop George Murray, and I'm here at St. Columba Cathedral to talk to you about Catholic schools. There is a story about the great astronomer Galileo. For many years, he tried to understand the universe by keeping his head down and concentrating on his books. Then one evening, a bright star caught his eye, and he looked up into the heavens. That day, he began to imagine. And that was the first step on his journey to understanding the rotation of the planets. But to reach his goal, he had to raise his head. I'm presenting to you this message on Catholic schools, their importance today and their future tomorrow, to help all of us raise our heads and see new possibilities. Catholic schools are a vital part of our experience as Catholics. Along with teaching reading, writing, and arithmetic, they teach us that every human being is created in the image of God, and thus every human being has value, and every human being is loved. Catholic schools have made a tremendous contribution to the growth of the faith in the United States. It is my hope that together we will work to fortify our Catholic schools in the Diocese of Youngstown so that the present generation and many generations to come will learn that they have an opportunity and a responsibility to be co-creators with God in building His kingdom on earth. Let me begin with the history of Catholic schools in America. The story of Catholic schools in America is a story of courage, perseverance, and creativity. As the newcomers streamed into crowded city dwellings or moved west to find land for farming, Catholic bishops grew increasingly concerned about the national campaign to promote public schools which were manifestly Protestant in character. At first, the bishops attempted to reform the public schools by insisting, for example, that Catholic children be permitted to use their own version of the Bible rather than the Protestant King James Version. But when that effort failed, the bishops decided to create their own school system in order to protect the faith of Catholic immigrants. Catholic school enrollment steadily increased during the 1930s, 1940s, and 1950s. It peaked in the mid-1960s with approximately 4.5 million elementary school students and 1 million high school students. Unfortunately, toward the end of the 1960s, that number began to decline and continued declining into the present. Today, enrollment in Catholic schools is less than half of what it was 40 years ago. How can we explain this decline? Well, there are at least 4 reasons. First is the movement of Catholics from the cities to the suburbs where there were few Catholic schools. Second, the need to charge tuition in order to pay dedicated lay teachers a just wage. Third, the rising academic quality of public schools. And fourth, a rampant secularism that recognizes no value added in passing on the faith. Taken in total, these reasons have led some Catholics to think that Catholic schools are no longer necessary. But Catholic schools are necessary for the well-being of our young people. They are an investment in the future of our youth. They likewise are an essential component in the life of the Church in the United States, not because of their number or where they are located, but because of how they help the Church to be more thoroughly Catholic. Presently, the Diocese of Youngstown operates 28 elementary schools and 6 high schools. During the past 10 years, overall enrollment in the schools of the diocese has decreased by 48%, resulting in the closure of 17 elementary schools. Those that remain continue to thrive. Students in the elementary schools of the diocese score well above the national average on both the Iowa Test of Basic Skills and the Acre Test, an assessment of catechesis and religious education. Correspondingly, students in our secondary schools score above the national average on both the college ACT and SAT examinations. Our high school students also score well above average on the Ohio graduation test. All of our high schools offer advanced placement courses that allow graduates to enter college with up to a year's worth of credit. Our schools also enjoy rich traditions of involvement in the arts and athletics. For example, Diocese of Youngstown high schools have won 42 team state athletic championships, plus many individual titles. Our schools have won both team and individual state speech championships. The schools put on fabulous plays and musicals several times a year. We have many students excelling in the fine and performing arts. 95% of our high school graduates go on to college. And last year, our graduates earned almost $45 million in college or university scholarships. This is an average of $74,200 per graduate. According to parents and students, Catholic schools are attractive for 5 reasons. First, they teach and transmit the Catholic faith. Second, they prepare students for college and life after college with strong academics. Third, they are safe and require discipline in order to help students learn self-discipline. Fourth, they enjoy the services of committed teachers who care about their students. And fifth, especially on the high school level, they have strong athletic programs that teach healthy competition, teamwork, and sportsmanship. What is the greatest risk we face with regard to the future of our Catholic schools? I would argue that our greatest risk is to take no risk at all. In other words, to remain the same and hope for the best. After a night of unsuccessful fishing, Jesus told his disciples to put out into the deep. That was a risky maneuver, but the results proved worth the risk. The scriptures tell us that their nets were filled to overflowing. I believe we must put out into the deep and think and act boldly as we plan for the future of our Catholic schools. Timidity will not bring us the reward that we desire. Creative action will. The place to start is with ourselves. We, all of us, clergy and lay, must be unambiguous in our support for Catholic schools. I ask that every priest in the diocese join me in speaking about the value of Catholic schools from the pulpit repeatedly and enthusiastically. Our priests should encourage students and parents to experience a Catholic education and all that it offers. In the same way, I call upon all Catholic parents of school-age children to visit and consider a Catholic school for your children. We, all of us, must take personal responsibility for our Catholic schools. Catholic schools cannot thrive merely in theory. They require students from families who recognize the value of their children becoming the type of person that Catholic schools produce. Men and women of faith, academically prepared for the future, self-disciplined to achieve their goals, others-centered, and impatient to make a contribution for good. Finally, I call upon the Office of Catholic Schools and our Catholic school leadership to reimagine our schools and anchor them in the Jesuit concept of cura personalis, a Latin phrase that means care for the entire person. Within the context of Catholic schools, cura personalis refers to a program of individualized attention that will foster the development and integration of the spiritual, intellectual, and emotional abilities of our students, and facilitate the use of those abilities and talents, gifts and resources to create a world that resonates with gospel values. That is what will make our Catholic schools matchless into the 21st century. National studies on education show that students learn at various speeds and in a variety of ways. With the aim of cura personalis, which means individual attention to each one of our students to elicit his or her best gifts and talents, we will need to assist our teachers to learn new teaching methods. Much of this is already occurring in our schools, but much more needs to be done to make it the centerpiece and distinguishing feature of a Catholic school. Lastly, because cura personalis is so important for the future of our schools, we need to consider new school models. For example, extended day and extended year schools, magnet schools that concentrate on math and science or the arts, language immersion schools, distant learning, and applied learning programs that involve foreign travel. We live in a fast-paced world. To stand still is to regress. Rather than be left behind, we must seize every opportunity to best respond to the needs of our students and prepare them to contribute on the local, national, and international level. I invite you to join me in this educational adventure. If you have children in Catholic school, or once had children in Catholic school, determine now to become more involved, offering your insights and experience as we navigate a new course to success. If you do not have children in Catholic school, take a close look at what Catholic schools offer and the type of person they produce. You may well find that they are what you want for your children. Come and invest in Catholic schools. Come and invest in the future of our youth.